All right, we are good to go.
Good morning, everyone. This is Christy Abrams, and I'm the Hard of Hearing Specialist, joining you from the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. I'd like to welcome you to our Hard of Hearing Task Force meeting today, which is Friday, November 17th, and it's 9:05 this morning. As a hard of hearing specialist, we have these meetings quarterly, and we're happy to stream them to YouTube to welcome the public in so that you can find out a little bit more about what we're doing and ask any questions. And I wanted to say that our meetings are accessible, and that's really important to us at the Commission. We have ASL interpreters, and we have communication access real-time translation, or CART, which is the captioning that we have here that is available. And our captions are created by a highly trained live person, and this gives us the most accurate captions possible. I want to just say one more thing about CART. CART is something that's available to make events. It could be in the courtroom, the classroom, workshops, conferences, seminars, church services, doctor's appointments. It's something that makes that compliant with the Americans with Disability Act. It makes it accessible to people who are hard of hearing, because most hard of hearing people don't know American Sign Language. So I just want to point that out and let everyone know that's something that we're working on here in the Commission to educate people on that. Whenever possible, it is also important to have an audio component. This will also help people to have hearing assistive technology, which can be done by induction loops, FM system, infrared system. So in addition to having that captioning, and that's the best setup so that we can have that equal access and effective communication. Okay, without further ado, I would like to introduce each one of our task force members and do a roll call. So if you would please acknowledge that you're present once I called everyone's names, and then you're welcome after that to turn your camera and also mute your microphone. And this will give us the best visual vantage point for our meeting and for those of you who are watching on YouTube. Okay, this morning we have Liz Booth with us.
Present.
Thank you. Roz Siebold.
Good morning.
Good morning. Cynthia Emmerman.
Present. Good morning.
And Barry Forrest. And Barry's muted, but I see that you're here, Barry, and we're happy to have you here. And we have Commissioner Fred Williams.
Here.
And Commissioner Melanie O'Rourke.
Here.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here, and we appreciate your service to the task force. And now I'm going to let everyone go ahead, and if you would like to turn your camera off and mute your microphone as well. And then we'll get started on our agenda. Okay. The first item on our agenda, I'm so excited. I would like to introduce our new team member. And Rena, I'm gonna have you pop on open your camera. We're so excited to have you here with us. And I am not completely sure how to pronounce your last name, but I know Rena, and your last name is Banerjee. It's a beautiful name, and you are our Community Engagement Coordinator, and we would love to know a little bit more about your background and your new position. We're so happy to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yes, I hope my lighting is okay. It's a little, okay, that's better. That's better. Hello, everyone. I am very excited to be joining you this morning. My name is Rena, and yes, my last name is hard to pronounce, so you can just call me Rena B. I'm from Rochester, New York. I lived there for 11 years, and I finally made the leap to Arizona here a few months ago. I am the newest staff member at the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator. And that is my new position. Is there anything else that you wanted me to add, Christy?
Rena, we're so happy to have you with us. Do you want to just tell us just briefly a little bit about before you were with the commission, about your background?
Oh, sure. Well, I was born and raised in New Jersey. I come from a deaf family. All of my siblings have vision loss and hearing loss. Both of my parents are hearing. So I grew up using both ASL and English. I grew up going to a mainstream school. And once I graduated, I went to the Rochester Institute of Technology in New York, where I studied biomedical science with a minor in criminal justice. I previously worked for the Rochester Institute of Technology for about 5 years before I moved here to Arizona, and now here I am.
Welcome, Rena. It's so exciting. I'm from upstate New York too. I'm from near Syracuse, so love to have someone here from the Northeast, and we're really thrilled to have you here. And I'm looking forward to working with you and love to hear a little bit about your story. So thank you so much for taking the time to say hello. And feel free to join the meeting anytime. We meet quarterly, and if you ever have any questions or feedback you want to give us, you're welcome. And does anybody have any questions for Rena before she pops on? Fred, did you have a question? Yeah.
Oh, Renee, did I understand you that all your siblings are deafblind?
No, they are only deaf. That was an interpreter error. They all have some degree of hearing loss. All 4 of us do.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Rena. Does anybody else have any other questions for Rena before we move on to the next agenda item? All right. No. Thank you, Rena.
Okay,
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
All right. Our next item on the agenda is to review and approve our minutes from the meeting that we had in August. And I sent that along in the email, and hopefully everyone had a chance to review it. Excuse me. And does anyone have any questions or corrections, or would anybody like to make a motion to approve as is? Melanie?
I move to accept the minutes as they are.
Thank you. Would anybody like to second the motion? Thank you, Roz. And so Roz second the motion. So our minutes from our last meeting on August 18th, 2023 have been approved. Thank you very much. Okay, and what I would like to do is I am just going to go to I'm going to change the agenda a little bit. I'm just going to go to my part. I'll be right with you. I'm just going to pull up my notes here. Okay. We have been busy at the commission. We really have. And I wanted to just share a little bit on my report as the hard of hearing specialist. One of the things that I do here at the commission is, I think for those of you who are not familiar, we have a hearing healthcare assistance project. We call it HAP. And this has been an incredibly busy program and project. We are in partnership with ASU, NAU, and the University of Arizona now. So all 3 universities we are partnering with to provide hearing aids for people who have low income and are really struggling to afford them. There is an assessment process to determine if you meet the requirements. It is based on federal poverty guidelines. So sometimes people might reach out to me and maybe they receive a referral instead to vocational rehab or the VA. And some people don't even realize they have insurance coverage, because more and more some insurances are providing coverage for hearing aids. So I just ask a lot of questions. We have a screening form that we use, and we try to determine what resources are the best. And if for any reason they don't qualify for the Hearing Healthcare Assistance Project, I have another list of hearing aid programs. So I really try to make sure that someone gets the assistance that they need. That's not where I stop, though. I always let people know that I am hard of hearing too. So I've been navigating hearing loss since I was 6 years old. And I know that the other elements are really just as important as the assistive technology that we have. And that's getting the emotional support from for example, our chapters with the Hearing Loss Association of America. We also have a program online, Hearing Other People's Experiences, which is called HOPE. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to connect with other hard of hearing people. I think that that's one of the most important things you can do, because often when we're hard of hearing, we feel like we are all alone and we tend to isolate. And so that you're not alone. There's more than 1.2 million people in Arizona that have some level of hearing loss. So I do a lot of information and resources for people, share a lot of information and resources, again, on assistive technology, how to request accommodations. You already heard me talk a little bit about CART this morning. I let them know about our free phone program that we have. My teammate, Vicki Thompson, does a wonderful job providing services to people who may need an amplified telephone, excuse me, or we have flashing, alerting, or vibrating devices available for people that have any level of hearing loss. So we have a lot of great free equipment. It's a really easy application process. So we hope you'll reach out to us if you feel you may be needing help at home to be alerted to certain environmental sounds. Maybe you're not able to hear your alarm, and we have really great bed shakers that will help you wake up in the morning. We have captioning phones and amplified telephones, a lot of great things. So feel free to reach out to us on that. Another thing that I do along with my teammates, especially Kim Menard, who's our deaf specialist, we really will go all over the state, whether it be in person or virtually, and we provide presentations. So I really want to spend a minute telling people about what we do. I had let everybody know in August, we actually presented for the Regional Americans with Disability Act at the ADA. It's called the Pacific ADA region. So we went there, and that was a real learning experience. We're all learning all the time on how can we make things inclusive, and what do we need to do to make sure, because everyone has a right to have that access. So this is one of the most important parts of the presenting that we do. Another example is that we will connect with employers. I also recently went to a place called Cooling Media, which is a digital marketing and advertising agency, and I presented our information to them. So they were wanting to know about not only being inclusive for their hard of hearing team members, but also keeping in mind how to make their marketing and advertising inclusive as well. So it could be any type of employer. We're happy to go out and provide presentations to any employer about our services. And we also, this is an interesting thing. Kim and I actually traveled to Sun City Grand in Surprise, Arizona, and we met with a Grand Drama Comedy Theater. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's a beautiful little theater out there in Surprise. And they actually contacted us. They want to know, how can we make our shows more accessible? So we're real excited about that, because we want all arts programs and theaters to be accessible, whether to someone that needs ASL interpreters or captioning. So we're real excited to go out there and meet with them. And we actually saw they were doing a play practice before the real things started, but they wanted to know about placement for the ASL interpreters. And they also had screens. So in the future, they're going to try to figure out how to add captioning for that. So that's wonderful. Because again, I mentioned 1.2 million people in Arizona have some level of hearing loss. Hearing loss is the #1 disability, not only in Arizona or America, but the world. And another big number is 60% of people over the age of 60 are hard of hearing. So it's really important that we really think about anytime that we request accommodations, it's not just for us. We're paving the way for other people that come next, because it really is a learning process. People are not always aware of what we need and what our rights are. So we really want to make an impact in that area. Another thing that Kim and I do is, and my other teammates, Cameo and Victoria, and all of us, we jump in there and we want to be sure that healthcare professionals have as much information as possible. So we go to hospitals, we train nursing students, and we will go anywhere, we really will, to provide our information and resources and help people understand the cultural sensitivity, communication strategies, learn about the assistive devices, accommodations, so many things. There's so many parts to the puzzle, and we just want to make sure that people have the best information so that they can provide best practices. So let's see here. But it's always a pleasure to go. I often go to our chapters here. We have HLA West Valley we're going to hear from, and East Valley, and we love to go and talk with them. I know I went to present to our West Valley chapter back in October and shared about my experience with the national HLAA, which is the Hearing Loss Association of America, has a national conference each year. And I went to New Orleans. It's a wonderful event where hard of hearing people come together. There's captioning, there's induction loops so that we can hear through our hearing aids, and all of the sessions are pertinent to us and how that we can thrive and do our best living with hearing loss. And I'm bringing this up because this year it's so exciting. I hope everyone will save the date, because the 2024 National HLA Conference is here in Phoenix at the beautiful Sheraton Grand Resort at Wild Horse Pass. I've been looking at the pictures. It's really beautiful. It'll be June 26th through the 29th. So that registration opens for this December 8th. So if anybody out there is hard of hearing and you live in the area, this is a conference you don't want to miss. It's really a life-changing experience. So that's about what I have on my report. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, just a little bit on what we do. Again, if you're listening and you're tuning in and you're new to us, as a hard of hearing specialist, if you're hard of hearing, my job is to provide information and resources on so many areas. So never hesitate to reach out to us. And if we don't know the answer, we will try to find it. Melanie, yes.
I just also want to say that, Christy, you're doing a great job of also sharing information about the local HLAA chapters. I get emails quite often from individuals wanting to hear about it. They say, I've been referred to you by Christy. So thank you for that, helping with our membership growth.
You're welcome. Thank you, Melanie. I do. Every single person, I might be the first person they talk to that's also hard of hearing, and they'll be like, and they're always surprised. You're hard of hearing too? So I think once they find that out, then I want to just give them all the information I can so that they can gain confidence and comfort, and it helps them along their journey, because it really is a journey. having hearing loss. Some people have hearing loss since childhood. Some people, like my brother-in-law who's in the Air Force, he's losing his hearing now in his 50s and 60s. So it can be an emotionally impactful experience. So you're not alone, and that's why we're here, and reach out anytime. All right, what I would like to do next is I am going to turn it over to Cynthia Ammerman. She's going to tell us a little bit about Aloha, and we're excited to have you here. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you very much, Misty. I just wanted to report that we did have our October 3rd Welcome Back open house reception at Aloha, which was very well attended. And we had a lot of fun. We brought food, and we had more people around the table. We had 10 people around the table, plus the hybrid meeting of 10 or 12 other people online on the big screen in our conference room. And that's the biggest it's ever been since the pandemic began. Anyway, we do have a meeting every Tuesday from 1 to 2. It includes, it's just like Hope. It is sharing our experiences with other people, except for the third Tuesday, we usually have a speaker. This Tuesday coming up is Lisa Furr from the University of Arizona, who has been the president in the past of AZAD, is going to come and speak to us. We've been reading True Biz, which is a deaf culture book that is fiction, but it's very well done and very, I thought it was very right on, very accurate about deaf culture from what I know from being at Gallaudet. Also, we're going to be having a table at the Tucson Disability Pride Day, which is December 3rd. It goes from 11 to 7. I don't think we'll be there that long, at least not me. But it's a great opportunity to network with other people in Tucson who have all kinds of disabilities. The other thing that I wanted to say is that we are going to have a 40th anniversary celebration in March. Lou Touche is going to be the third Tuesday speaker, and then he's coming to Tucson. And we're going to have a big event, including Lou and Pam, who can speak about the beginnings of Aloha and who have all the history in their heads. And we're just going to have a big blast party, we hope. So that's about all the news, except that, what did I want to say? Oh, we do have in Green Valley, we have to go to Green Valley for this, but they have looped their shoestring players, the CPAC, and I saw Murder on the Orient Express. I might have told you that before, but it was really clear, and I understood just about every word. And so we're very thankful to have theater available like that, and it's so accessible, as the Loft also has. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Does anybody have any questions for Cynthia and regarding Aloha? I always let people know about Aloha too, Cynthia, whenever anybody reaches out from that part of the state. So we're so lucky to have you there.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay. All right. So next on the agenda, I'm going to ask, we have Commissioner Melanie O'Rourke, who is the president of the HLAA West Valley. Thank you for joining us, Melanie. And I know that the interpreters are just changing over. We'll give them a second.
Okay.
Melanie, you can go
Are we
ahead.
ready? I can talk. I could talk. Okay. Thank you and good morning. We just had a chapter meeting this past week, so this has been a very busy week for HLAA and meetings for me. We had Ingrid McBride speak, and she spoke about over-the-counter hearing aids and gave a very clear and concise and a very academic, and it was great outline of the pros and cons of over-the-counter hearing aids. It was just amazing. And then she also spoke about Auracast, which, we're all hearing that buzz on that. And she was so excited about the future of Auracast. It's pretty exciting to hear that from her. We are getting new members. More people are coming to our meetings. And we had about 29 on Tuesday, and there were many new people. And from our meeting in October, we're having people come back. So that's a sign of a good, healthy growth for a meeting. We also, and I'm going to turn this over to Fred for a few minutes because we're still having our Zoom meetings, but the format is changing a little bit. So Fred, if you wouldn't turn on your microphone, I know I'm calling you on the spot here. And if you wouldn't talk a little bit about the Zoom meetings that the West Valley is having and how we're changing them a little bit, I think. Also, just one more thing, Fred, we also have tried, and it seems to be working out pretty great. We have a time before the meetings where we're asking members to bring their lunch. And Shannon, our secretary, has been spending a lot of time sharing different apps, and something as simple as that. We have people so excited about that little thing that is making communication so accessible. So those are the things that are going on in the West Valley. Also, one more thing, actually, we're having our December meeting. We'll have a music director with Songs of the Southwest. It's a choral group out in the West Valley. And the director has a hearing loss, but he is just amazing, and his group is great. And Fred can also talk a little bit more about that. So we're all trying to figure out how we can go to some of their shows that are mainly here in the West Valley. Okay, so Fred, talk about the book club and Matt Diller.
Melanie didn't warn me I had to say anything, so I'm going to make it short. We are continuing our Zoom meetings. They're going to once a month now, essentially a hope session, but we were trying some different things. For example, I'm encouraging people to bring articles or suggestions or anything that would add to the discussion. And this week, coming Monday, we have several things on balance, something near and dear to my heart, which some people have asked about. The Matt Diller, the choir director from the Sounds of the Southwest Singers, is coming on our December meeting. I tried to get him to bring the choir, can't do that. So I gave him a list of songs we'd like to hear, and he didn't approve any of those, but we're looking forward to seeing him. He's a great guy. He has a significant hearing loss. He has not gone to cochlear implants because he's afraid he won't be able to hear the music. So he's struggling a little bit, but he's got a terrific personality and he's very good. And that's pretty much what I didn't have planned to say. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, thanks so much, Fred. I know I put you on the spot. I think that's it, Christy, for the West Valley.
Thank you so much, Melanie and Fred. Appreciate that. We're so fortunate to have our two HLA chapters. It really is a place where hard of hearing people can go to feel a community. And that is something that's having that connection and engagement is so important for us. All right, so I would like to, I know Ron is not here with us today, but Roz has agreed to give his report and for the HLA East Valley chapter. And then Roz, if you want to also share about the wonderful Walk for Hearing that we had, I'm excited to hear about that too.
Be happy to. I'm going to read what Ron wrote, and here we go. The HLAA East Valley chapter continues to meet on the second Thursday of the month from October through May. For our first 2 meetings of the season in October, we showed a movie, We Hear You, Now Hear Us. The movie was very well received, gave out popcorn. That was well received also, and made for some very engaging discussions afterwards. In November, Michelle Michaels, the Hard of Hearing program manager from the commission, she came out and provided us an update on the ACDHH. Then she opened the floor for an open discussion about hearing loss here in Arizona. It was terrific and it was engaging, and a lot of people raised their hands and asked questions for Michelle. I think we could have gone on all day. Our chapter meetings have averaged approximately 30 members and guests per meeting. For the rest of the season, we will be welcoming in January Dr. Caleb Bagan, an audiologist from AZ Hearing and Balance, who will discuss hearing loss and dementia. In February, Dr. Alton, I'm going to butcher this, Bourdonnais from AT Still University will discuss fall prevention. That's a timely topic. In March, we're looking at a panel with 2 students from ASU and 2 from AT Still to discuss why we decided to become audiologists. In April, I will be doing a presentation on traveling with hearing loss. In May, we will close out the season with Liz Booth, our past president, and Amanda Mason, who's my daughter, and they're going to discuss hearing loss and relationships from a senior and a younger perspective. We're still holding our Hope meetings on the 4th Thursday of the month. Some dates will change because of the holiday season, but Ron will keep everyone informed when those meetings are. So that's it from the HLAA chapter meeting. And now I will discuss the very successful Arizona Walk for Hearing. The 2023 Arizona Walk for Hearing was a tremendous success. We had about 490 walkers in attendance and raised just over $40,000. We changed some things a little and put a little music and dancing in our program. I think it went over very well. We believe that we had more kids this year than any other year in the past. The children's activities area was packed with face painting, a bounce house, crazy balloons, and carnival games. The weather was outstanding, and it was a great fall morning. So we look forward to doing this again next November 2024. Does anyone have any questions about the East Valley chapter of the HLAA or the Walk for Hearing?
I just wanted to share a comment, and I wish Ron was here, and I know Barry's here, and I know so many people work so hard, but it really is such a tremendous job to put on this Walk for Hearing and to make it so successful. So I'm excited to see Ron next time, and Barry too, and everyone that had a hand in it. It's a huge undertaking. But it's so important. And I was so excited to see those little kiddos there, because growing up, I didn't know anybody else that was hard of hearing. So it's wonderful for them to come together with their families and just to see people were showing me their pink hearing aids and red ear molds. It's just something's changing, I feel like, about hearing aids. It's not something so much that has to be hidden. So something that's okay to celebrate and talk about. So it's such an important event, and I thought it was, like you said, Roz, it was so successful, and having almost 500 people there. Wow.
I could add that nationally, HLAA recognized Ron for his contribution and his dedication to the walk, which was a real honor, and we're so proud of him.
Yeah, we are so proud of him and so fortunate to have his leadership and all of your leaderships, everyone on the call today. Everyone's making such an impact for other people that are hard of hearing. Yes, and I was excited to be there to see Ron receive that award in New Orleans. So very proud and very fortunate to have him and all of you. So thank you, Roz. Anybody else have any questions on the East Valley HLA or the Walk for Hearing? I've already got it on my calendar for next year. Okay, and I don't think Harvey, I'm just looking over in the participant list. I know Harvey, you never know. Sometimes with work, something comes up and you're not able to come. And I don't think I see his name in the participant list. So we will look forward to hearing more from Harvey at our next quarterly meeting, because he always shares a lot of great information on employment. And one of the things he does for us here at the commission is he will advertise the positions that we have available. And we have 2 positions available right now. So that really gets the word out and spreads information on that. And he does a great job, and we're really lucky to be able to go to him with questions and resources on employment. So I will look forward to having him join us next time. I wanted to share, I'm just going to pull up my notes on this. Michelle's not with us. Oh, an interpreter is a good time to switch. I'm just going to share a little bit on an upcoming Project Humanities, or Dispelling the Myths. I have my little sheet here. I didn't want to leave without sharing this. So Thursday, November 30th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's going to be not only in our boardroom at the commission, but also virtually. So we're going to be having a hybrid session. It's really exciting. I think we have over 100 people signed up already. And we are going to be meeting, we're going to have a panel of people, 3 individuals. One is deaf, one is deaf-blind, and one is hard of hearing. And we will be, Michelle is our moderator, so she's going to be leading the group. And we will be discussing intersectional identities, culture, language, and how we experience the world as people with a disability. And ASU Project Humanities brings together individuals and communities within and around and beyond Arizona State University to instill passion, knowledge of humanities studies, research, and broad thinking. And by exploring shared ideas and experiences, Project Humanities facilitates conversations across diverse communities to build understanding through talking, listening, and connecting. And I am reading that from Michelle's notes, because it's beautifully said, I think, beautifully put. And I just want to say, this is an opportunity. I hope you all join us. Hopefully everyone has signed up. You can send me an email. We have an info @ too. If you don't have my email, we can put my email in the chat. But this is an opportunity. And again, I mentioned so often when we're hard of hearing, we're tired. It's a lot of work to get through the day. And it's so easy to maybe just want to stay home. But this is an opportunity that we can come together to do some talking, some listening, and connecting. And those 3 things are so important for us. So we have to give each other a little extra push to get out there and keep connected. It's so important. And I have all the information you need on that, like I said, so don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, this is a short meeting today because we didn't have everyone here. But I'm so glad that we were able to come together. I want to open up to all of you for any other questions, comments. Maybe you have some ideas about what you would like to have on the agenda for 2024. I can't believe that 2024 is coming so quickly. And before I open up, I want to just be sure to wish everyone a very safe and happy Thanksgiving and tell you how grateful I am for each and every one of you. I've learned something from everyone on this call. Really, I'm very fortunate to be in this position and to have connections with all of you. So don't be shy. If you want to turn on your camera, I'd let everybody open it up. And if you have anything to add or share, please feel free. Cynthia.
Well, I forgot to tell you that we started sign language classes at Aloha, and also that we are planning on having speech reading classes. We need to find an instructor. We've been trying, but that's going to be in the spring. We'll have some speech reading.
Cynthia, are those classes virtual or are they in person?
They're both because we have hybrid meetings.
Okay,
So
I'm glad to know that. And
I'm not sure about the sign language class.
okay,
Because I have
that
to
might
find
be in
out from the
person.
instructor. I have to find out if she would okay that.
Okay, and I just have one other question about that. Are the classes open to anyone in Arizona? If for the virtual class, the lip reading class or speech reading?
It's speech reading, which includes body language as well as lip reading.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I know that Pam feels that speech reading is not a good thing to do online because it's more difficult, but I would rather be able to do that than not have it. So, so we're going to discuss about putting these classes online. But the sign language class is mainly in the building.
Okay.
We've limited it to a size of 8 so people can really learn.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's so important. I need to find places to practice my sign language myself. So that's wonderful. Thank you. Any other questions for Cynthia, or does anybody? I know Melanie, you feel free to pop back on.
I actually didn't have anything to say. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay. Anybody else? And does anybody else want to share or have any other suggestions or questions, or is I also want to just put it out there, be thinking about some things that maybe as a task force that we can work on for the new year. I'm going to put out an email and kind of pick everybody's brain. And if you can think of some things that we can work on or ideas that you may have. And let's see if I have anything else I wanted to share. Okay, does anybody else have anything that they want to share? I am going to say before we log off, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. We have a Hard of Hearing stakeholders meeting with Gallaudet University coming up in about an hour, or at 10:45 this morning. So our Hard of Hearing Task Force members are going to be participating in that meeting, where we meet with Gallaudet University, and we are going to be hearing back information on surveys that they sent out, and we're going to be able to kind of hear what everyone said and help them to make some decisions. So I'll be telling you a lot more about that in our next meeting. And I can't think of anything more. Does anybody else have anything more before we sign off? Feel free to turn your camera on. Roz?
I just wanted to thank you for all that you do, Christy.
Oh, thank you, Roz. It's a gift. It's a pleasure to be in this position. It really is. Liz, did you have something? No? Okay. Oh, and you're muted, Liz. Sorry.
Nothing more other than wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Yep. Let's just turn on our cameras, and that's a great way to finish. It was a short meeting today, but I was so grateful for each and every one of you, and wish you a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. And thank you and I'll see everyone at just probably, you can sign on a little early. The next meeting starts at 10:45. So if you want to sign in a little bit, maybe 5-10 minutes early, that's great. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I do. Christy, do we have a separate link for that, or is it the
Yes.
same link?
It's a separate link, and I can resend the email. It's another Zoom link,
Right.
and I will
Okay.
send that to everybody.
Thank you.
And I sent it out, but I can resend it and make sure everyone has it, no problem. And I look forward, but gives everybody a chance to have a little break. Important to take a little brain break in between meetings. And I thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. And I appreciate you being here. And we'll see you all next time. Happy